Good morning and welcome to a new edition of the Betting Connection podcast. My name's Chris. I'm here for our weekly session and my co-host Rob. Rob, how you doing today?
Yeah, hey, thanks, Chris. I'm doing fine. Yeah, busy week. Definitely betting wise as well, with a lot of going on in tennis, a lot of going on in European football. We've been a little bit, we didn't put out that many bets, but to be honest, we'll be producing a little bit more bets over the weekend and in the coming weeks. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. It's been a roller coaster of a week as an Arsenal fan, which we'll get into. And then last week we spoke last week and we put some bets out for the weekend. English Championship didn't really go to plan over the weekend, did it? We got one of the three, but it didn't quite happen. We did have a Freiburg home win and had a good League One pick on Tuesday night. So it was still an okay week. That Championship treble would have been nice, though.
Yeah, that's what we always say with the championship. It sometimes cooks up some strange results. That's why the prices are most of the time good as well. But yeah, I stayed away from the championship this weekend. Back to you.
Yeah. Well done, you. I'm staying away. I'm staying away this weekend. There's enough to talk about anyway through the major leagues across Europe this weekend. Again, we're gonna chew the facts. We're gonna talk through them. There's a couple of interesting picks that I like the look of, and then some other games that I want to talk about and see if there's value or not, and see if we can agree on some things. What I would also like to do this week, Rob, as we're going through the countries, I know that you've already got a big Gun Acca lined up, but I would like us to agree as we go through the countries to add teams to the student Acca. Because there's a few that I've got my eye on, but I think we're going to go through and talk about the ones that would be good value single picks, and the ones that are too short, we're going to agree together and we're going to add it to the student ACCA.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
Okay. Because I've got something like to talk about really in every major country here. We've got obviously England, Holland, Spain, Germany, France, and Italy. I've got something to speak about. So let's try and find those student ACCA picks, as well as some value picks that we like, leans, and plenty to get stuck into. So without further ado, let's do that, Rob. Always we like to start in the Premier League. Liverpool got their game in hand midweek. Did you see it? Derby?
I did watch a fair amount of it, to be honest, because it was the last derby at Goodison Park. So the atmosphere was unbelievable, to be honest. It was a great atmosphere there. It looked like I don't know. It's when I watch sometimes matches in England, they are so explosive, like both teams on it all the time, very short defending, high pressure all the time, very hard to find spaces in that field. But then you see Liverpool have two chances, two goals, and you it looks like they sneak away with it. And then there is Tarkovsky with his great equalizer for Everton, and it was a great match to watch. And did you watch any of it?
I watched all of it. I probably will. Now we're into that kind of the home straight of the season. I probably will watch every Liverpool game that won't coincide with Arsenal. And as you say, it was a throwback. It was a throwback derby match for the ages. It really was. It felt like a match from the 90s. The football quality wasn't amazing at all, but it was a really engrossing, intriguing match to watch. And when Liverpool went 2-1 up, I was like, how are they going to win this game? How? They didn't really do anything, create anything. They still managed to score two goals. Everton were a bit unlucky. Obviously, VAR rightly called off a couple, but what a finish! What a finish!
I think they eventually the derby ended totally in a draw when they play at Goodison Park. So I think they both have like 38 wins and like 14 draws or something now. But yeah, some nice fact.
No, it was crazy. It was crazy. They both had the exact same amount of wins, didn't they?
Yeah, they had, yeah.
Yeah, unreal stat actually. So yeah, that's it was a nice way to finish. It all kicked off after the whistle, and yeah, I don't know. This is it's going to feel like a loss. I know it was a draw, and I think on the face of it, as a Liverpool team, you should look at that and say away from home, derby under the lights. It's a good point, but that will feel like a loss to Liverpool. And they go into a run of games now, apart from this weekend looks okay at home to Wolves. But then midweek, Aston Villa away, then Man City away, and then Newcastle at home in the midweek. So they've got like, what's that, 4 games in the space of 10 days now, 11 days. And yeah, I think it's going to be the most important 10 days of the league season, because I think it will be make or it will either allow Arsenal back into this, or if Liverpool manage to win 3 and get a draw, for example, I think that should be good enough.
Yeah, very interesting to see where it's going. I still am a slot believer at the moment. And as you said, a 2-all draw against Everton in their last match at Goodison Park isn't the worst result. They should already be proud that they are in the position that they are and keep focusing on getting those points in the upcoming week. And definitely the game against Wolves should be a game that they really should get some confidence and get back to scoring ways as well, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I've spoken all season, haven't I, about Liverpool not playing the tougher away matches all season. So now what we're going to see is their home matches looking incredibly easy on paper, and their away matches looking like there could be an upset. So that's how it looks now. But this is it now. We're coming into those games now. So these Villas away, Man City's away. As an Arsenal fan, or as a neutral fan that wants to see this title race get a bit closer, they're the games that Liverpool need to slip up on. And my feeling is that they will. I mean, I don't like the way that everyone's been speaking all season that the league's over. I think Liverpool as a team have not shown that they're not susceptible to a collapse or two. This is a team that I think threw away a league. I know, okay, it's a completely different team, but it's still Liverpool, and it wasn't that long ago where they threw away a 5-point lead with 3 games left. So anything's possible. Anything's possible. But the problem is now, as an Arsenal fan and having hope, is that, I spoke about it last week, karma, when Martinelli got injured literally the next game after the transfer window closes. But now, even worse than that, Kai Havertz is out for the season.
Yeah, is that very bad for Arsenal, you think?
Do I
Because
think?
I
Yeah. I
think, like,
mean,
if you look at Arsenal, that what they did quite well this season is that they cope very well with a lot of injuries as well. They managed to, that's why they're behind, I think, Liverpool as well. But then again, they did it quite well without Odegaard, without Saka once in a while. So, yeah, I
okay, let me put this to you. If you said that Liverpool would lose Salah, Diaz, Jota, and Gakpo all at the same time, pretty much for the rest of the season, how do you think they'll get on for the rest of the year?
uh,
Because that's exactly where Arsenal are right now. No Havertz, no Saka, no Martinelli, no Jesus. So the first 4 choice forwards that we have are not available, and not for a while neither. So Jesus and Havertz are out for the season, and Saka's probably end of March, and Martinelli's not far behind him. So yeah, it's going to be tough now. Like everyone moans about Havertz and, oh, we need a striker, and that's very true. But don't underestimate what Havertz does for this team. And yeah, that's an absolute disaster. If there was one player that you could handpick not to get injured for the rest of the season, considering where we are squad wise, it's him, and he's gone for the season. It's a disaster. I'm hearing that they might be playing Mikel Merino up front as a striker. So imagine the situation we're in.
Wow.
So yeah, look, I don't want to talk about it more because it's not an Arsenal pod, but it is devastating in terms of betting this weekend. Yeah, I mean, both. I imagine Arsenal, and even with the situation, I think that they should get the win away at Leicester. 1.3 too short. Liverpool at home to Wolves 1.2 too short. I think they are games that they should win. I don't know why Wolves. I think they can cause Liverpool problems. They've just started again. They keep going up and down all season. Wolves. They look terrible for a few games, and then they're like, oh, actually, they're okay. And they're in there. They're okay again. Like moment. So I don't think it will be a walkover, but they should get the job done. Are there any games that are standing out on this weekend that, well, firstly, Man City Newcastle was a standout game, but betting wise, odds wise, is there anything there that's catching your attention?
I'm looking at two teams that are, performing quite well. I'm playing against a lower ranked team. Aston Villa at home for
Yeah.
1.45
Hmm.
against Ipswich. Definitely maybe debut of Rashford, or I'm not sure if he already played, but I guess not.
He
And
came. He
Bournemouth.
came on. He came on for about 10 minutes in the FA Cup against Tottenham.
Then maybe he makes his full debut this time against Ipswich. I fancy them, and I fancy Bournemouth to beat Southampton. Maybe I can make it a double.
Yeah, I like both. They're both the type of prices that we would that I look for in the student ACCA. I think that's a good place to start. Bournemouth and Villa onto the student ACCA from the Premier League. I think they're your typical type of odds that we want on there. No,
Yes, they are. Let's put them on.
I'm going to put them on. So
Like
by the
Donkey
way,
Kong.
just yeah, on like Donkey Kong. And just while we're talking about Aston Villa, I did mention in the pod last week that I didn't see how Tottenham wouldn't lose that match. As much as I don't like to bet on the FA Cup, that was, I felt like a banker, if there's ever been a banker at 1.7. And so it turned out.
And so it turned out. Great shout was that.
Yeah,
Sometimes
that
you
was just
have
the
to
one.
be.
There was just the one. They're on absolute free fall at the moment, aren't they, Tottenham? In fact, who are Tottenham playing this week? And now home to gee, this is the matchup of the who can make a mess of the season the most. Tottenham versus Man United on Sunday. What do you think on that one?
I was thinking that they were both in double digits standings wise. So they were like number 13 against the number 14 or something. And like, what happened to this world? Who would have imagined Tottenham versus Manchester United when they are both in mid-table, lower ranked teams at the moment? What to make of it? What to make of it? I think for both teams, you can't say much. Maybe goals, but if you look at Tottenham, most of the times there are loads of goals in their matches. If you look at Manchester United, sometimes they try to keep a close shop. So for me, it's a no bet. Do you have anything that you like in that match?
Goals 2-2, 2-2 draw.
Okay, we both like the goals.
2-2 draw. Yeah, you'd be a brave man to call a winner there. So I think the safest bet is a draw, and a draw is 3.75, which is fairly attractive on its own. And you could have a little fun play on a 2-2 at 12.0. But yeah, it's a game that I'll definitely stay away from for sure. They've both got their issues, as we all know. So not much to be said about that. Manchester City, Newcastle. Did you catch any of the City Real Madrid game in the midweek?
I had to watch the highlights. I watched the PSV game a little bit more um, because I was interested in the Dutch, and I thought I'm gonna watch that game after. Uh, Unbelievable that it happened again, right? 2-1 up and then losing 3-2. And there was
Yeah.
some karma as well in it with the signs of the Ballon d'Or about Vinicius, right? And then he's scoring the last goal.
Yeah, they just threw it away. They had the game won, really. I thought Real Madrid were the better team, but City had the game won, and yeah, again, Real Madrid have this magic or secret sauce, don't they, when it comes to the Champions League? Just they're never beaten.
Yeah, they are so good. Like I think the players they have that in their DNA at the moment already, because like they just don't care, and it's like they have players that they are so good that they can make something happen out of nothing, and they keep on doing it over and over again. And as this season continues, they seem to do it more and more. So yeah, Real Madrid, great win for them.
Yeah, although Man City lost the game and they do look incredibly vulnerable defensively, they still carry a bit of a threat sometimes and sometimes still play football close-ish to what they're capable of. So you never really know what you're going to get from them in terms of these type of matches. Normally you would back them to beat Newcastle. I still think that's possible, 100%. But you could also imagine Newcastle causing them a lot of damage, down the channels with the speed that they've got with Gordon and Isaac as well. So yeah, interesting game. Do you have a lean on that, or are you staying well away?
I'm staying well away. It's a kind of match, in my opinion, for watching and not for betting. So
Yeah.
no bet for me again.
Agreed. And I think that if, for those risk takers, I know that people like to bet on the big games regardless, just to have a bit of fun, just to put a bit of interest in it. I'm not personally one of those people, but if you do, I think you the better value play is probably a Newcastle win, to be quite honest, at 3.4. I don't think Man City at odds on is a really good bet, to be honest. 1.9, I don't think it's an amazing bet. Newcastle extremely dangerous. So if you're going to go just for having a fun bet and making it interesting, I do think a Newcastle win is probably a better value pick at 3.4. But yeah, I'm staying well away.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, let's move on to Holland. And wow, Rob, we talk about it every week. Now it's actually in Ajax's hands right now. It's happened, hasn't it? PSV keeps stalling, and Ajax are there now. If they win the game in hand, they're clear top.
Yep, they do. And they've been looking better and better. They won again yesterday, Thursday night in the Europa League. They had to play against Union from Belgium, and the field was horrible. You don't believe it. There was a lot of talks about the stadium not being ready because Union plays in their own stadium that's not allowed for Europe. So they had to find another stadium, but there the field was frozen. So they really, really, this is the true story. They had to use leaf blowers to warm up the field like 2 or 3 days before the game even been played. So imagine that was like back to amateur level. So it was
Wow.
very hard to control the ball, was bouncing all around. You couldn't play back to the goalie because it was too scary to do that. It was unbelievable scenes, to be honest. Fun watch, but not the best for the football. But Ajax managed it again, and they had now a new talent. They have a 16-year-old. He played last weekend for the first time, and he played again yesterday. And last weekend he played as left back. Dokio, is his name. He's 16 years old. He's from Belgium. He played left back on this weekend, and then yesterday he played center mid, and he scored a goal. 16-year-old.
My
Imagine.
goodness. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
So maybe we
Wow.
have another new Ajax Dutch talent coming up.
New
Not a Dutch
sensation.
talent, Belgium talent to be.
Yeah. But yeah, look, I've got a question actually. Is the Dutch league done on goal difference, the same as the Premier League, or is it on head to head?
I actually heard a discussion about it because they Ajax was maybe second, but I don't know how they showed it in the table. But there was a discussion about it. But I think it's just on goal difference. It's
Yeah, like
just goal difference.
I've seen two different league tables this week. One has Ajax on top and one has PSV on top. And the only thing I could imagine the one that had Ajax on top was a head to head or something. But
No,
yeah,
I think that no, that's not the case. Like
it's not.
otherwise, I
Yeah.
would have known about it, and it's just goal difference.
Yeah, it's goal difference, which is heavily in PSV's favour at the moment. They are level points, but Ajax do now have a game in hand. So, it's definitely on. It's definitely on now. So interesting. Both are too short this week for any kind of value plays. Yeah.
Actually, Ajax is on my big Gun Acca.
Oh,
Uh,
they're on your
and
big gun actor.
PSV
Yeah,
are
I
not,
imagine.
and PSV are not on my big Gun Acca. So
Well, they've hurt you. They've hurt you a couple of weeks in a row now. No.
yeah, that says it all. That says it all.
Yeah, yeah. PSV they've been a big Gun Acca favourite all season, pretty much. But now they've lost your trust.
They left the building. And what
They've
do you
left the
think about
building.
Feyenoord then? Like it's
Well,
always
Feyenoord. Well, I
strange
was going to
story.
ask you. Yeah, I was going to ask you about Feyenoord because they're the one interesting value. It's 1.62 I have. I'm sure you've got slightly better in your Dutch where you put your bets. But Feyenoord are 1.62, but they're playing away at one of our favourite home teams, NAC Breda. And it's kind of an evening game. So I imagine it's going to be dark. Are we staying away from that?
Yeah, I'm staying away. Feyenoord is a team with very high highs and very low lows at the moment. They've like it's quite strange that like on Monday they sacked their manager. Like they had a bad spell and everyone was talking about it, but then they had the 3-0 win against Bayern München. Then they went back to losing three matches. Then they won the last match, and then he got sacked. So it's a strange things happening over there. But then again, there was the assistant coaches. Now they took over they are interim, and they are like the bad boys. Like they are the true Feyenoord legends. Like John the Wolf. I don't know if you know him. If you don't, look him up. I will send you a picture of him, and he's like he is Feyenoord. And the guy who's leading right now, Pascal Boschart, he has like a big beard. So we were like imagining him walking on the field to this Italian coach of AC Milan, like Conceição. He doesn't know what's happening to him, but because they are like really bad looking guys, you know? So yeah, and they managed to win. So unbelievable season for Feyenoord in the way that they're performing in Europe compared to how they're playing in domestically. So I'm staying clear away from it, but definitely
And
interesting to watch.
yeah, and that could be Arsenal's next opponents as well. Either the winner of that or the winner of the PSV one. So it could be Dutch or Italian, I think.
I think
So it's going to be
Arsenal
it's going to
has
be
a
interesting.
walkover. If I compare both matches to the standard that Arsenal brings to the table, I think it's quite. I think
You never,
they're
yeah,
quite
but you never
evenly
know
matched.
those European nights. Those European nights, you never know. Anyway, there's not great deal of value there. Then obviously you've got Ajax for the big gun Acca. We're not going. I don't think there's anything there for the student Acca. Have you got anything in second division this weekend? Or are you staying away again?
No, I'm back to a double. I found a
Okay,
double that I
tell
like.
us.
A Friday night double. Friday night under the lights. SC Cambuur playing at home against Top Os. And you can find it around 1.43. That's where I found it for. And they're actually playing tonight. So Cambuur is a team that's trying to get promoted really badly. They're in third place, chasing the second spot by just behind by 1 point. They won their last two matches quite convincingly. If you look at Topos, it's a very mid-table team, or actually lower ranked. They're 17th at the moment. They lost three out of their last five, winning only once. I think it's a good value, or not good value. It's a good price for a team at home who's a big favorite. And you can combine them with ADO Den Haag. And they're playing against young Ajax. ADO Den Haag, big city in Holland, big city without a team playing in the highest competition. So they always have a big support, big stadium as well, and they actually should be in the first division, in my opinion. Not that they play, they have the quality, but just as a team and city. They won their last three matches. They won against FC Volendam away from home, the league leaders. And they're now in fifth position and they're only 1 point behind Cambuur. So it's very close up top there. So they need to win at home and continue the streak. And you can find them at 1.55 and you can combine the two for 2.2.
2.2. Okay. Nice little play there for back into the kitchen. What is the name again of the
Yeah,
second division of the
kitchen
kitchen?
champion division.
Kitchen champion division. On top of the kitchen. Right, lovely. Well, normally would go to Spain, Rob, but I'm gonna sneak into France first because you're talking about Friday night football. And there's a Friday night game that I like in France. What day? Yes, Friday already. So tonight. So there's a game in France tonight involving Brest versus Auxerre. And this one caught my attention at 2.25. Now, Brest are not having the same season as they had last year, but they're still doing well. They're consolidating their position as a Ligue team, and in the top half, they're sitting in eighth at the moment. They're playing Auxerre. Auxerre are not much further behind. They're only 3 places. However, Brest are just really good at home and Auxerre are terrible away. So this is just why it stood out for me. Okay, they're pretty matched in terms of overall league standings, but definitely a good home team against a bad away team. Brest have won 3 of their last 4 at home. The only one that they lost was against Paris Saint-Germain. So, yeah, that's understandable. And, yeah, they've beaten actually, Brest have lost to the top 3. Okay, so they've lost to PSG, Marseille, and Nice at home. The rest, they've won 6 of their other 7 at home. So they've basically won all of their games outside of the teams in the top 3. And Auxerre have lost 4 in a row away from home. And they are winless in 8. They haven't won since the turn of the year, in fact. And they've only won 1 away from home all season, losing 8 of their 10 matches. So, yeah, I just thought good value, 2.25.
If I look at this match, the only thing that I want to mention is that is happening across all Europe. Take a look at which team Brest is putting out because they have to play in Europe again. This is probably not the best example because Brest lost 3-0 against PSG, so they probably think they lost it and they actually should get back to winning ways if they want to play in Europe next season. So I like the bet. And there's also a thing going on with Auxerre because if I look at the last results, they had a draw, then they lost, then they had a draw, then they had a loss, then they had a draw, then they had a loss. So if you keep an eye on that, they should lose again tonight.
Yeah,
So
that's a nice pattern for another loss, if you ask me. And all those
exactly.
draws, though, all those draws were at home. Yeah, so they were drawing at home, losing away, drawing at home, losing away, drawing at home, losing away. So we're back to a draw at home last week, and now hopefully an away loss.
Okay, I like it.
So yeah, I like that one. While we're in France, I thought there's a couple of other teams, not really picks for not picks for single value picks, but Marseille and Nice are both teams that I like to win. And hang on a minute. Yes, Marseille is a bit too short, 1.27, even for the
Marseille
student.
made it on to the big Gun Acca.
Yeah, I imagine so. Nice at 1.65, away at Le Havre. I was thinking about this one. This is right on the border of a value pick, little bit low, but maybe one for the student Acca. Le Havre are second from bottom, but they did manage to get a couple of results last 2 matches out. But Nice are pretty strong, third in the league. Bit of a mixed bag away from home. Not too sure, but Le Havre's they're not a great team. What do you think on this one? Student Acca or not?
What's the price again?
1.65.
I think if you're not sure, it's a no bet.
It's a
Like
no
you
bet.
have a loads to choose from, and I think the Le Havre result against Lille last weekend definitely puts me off. And if you combine that,
It's the only thing that puts me off actually. It's just because they got that good win last week and they had a draw away from home previous to that. Okay, it was to Angers, which are not the best team, but
no, the other thing that
okay, we'll
puts
stay
me
with
off is that Nice should change their name to Nice.
that. Yeah, easier.
It would be more fun. But
I
no, for
think
me,
it's
no, I wouldn't
yeah.
put it on then if I
Okay.
don't like it. And
Okay, this is why we're going to deliberate between ourselves. Excellent. So, okay, anything else in France before I do swap back into Spain?
No, you can maybe, I don't know what the odds are on PSG, but I know that they are playing unbelievably well. And I want to mention Dembele, definitely as a goal scorer, maybe scoring twice. You can find it at plus 500 or 600 because he actually repositioned himself in the formation. He's playing as a striker. And I think he started off the season with like 15 goals in 4 matches or 5 matches. Unbelievably amount of goals already. Definitely top scorer across the world so far this season, but the 2025. So yeah, that's
What,
interesting.
uh, what, what, what about this one for the student acca then? This is 1.5. Nice student acca price.
Paris Saint-Germain to win?
Yeah. Away at
Yes,
Toulouse.
I
Toulouse
like it.
are mid-table-ish.
I like
Again,
it.
they haven't won in five. Three draws are there.
Because the thing
But
is,
yeah,
like, PSG had a lot of matches in Ligue 1 already after a European game where they didn't really need a result, but they got it anyway. And they most of the time got it convincingly as well. And I think they just have a big amount of squad that if the coach wants to like substitute one, two, or three players that need to be a little bit rested, they're not going to put on worse players. So yeah, I like that one for the student ACA.
yeah, we'll put that on the student acca. Okay, excellent. So Villa, Bournemouth, and PSG. Okay, let's see if we can find some more bets in Spain. Spain. So, well, my initial thoughts was I'm not going to do it because you know what I'm going to say. But the Madrid double looks fairly interesting here. I don't know if you concur.
Yeah, the only thing that's putting me off is that Real Madrid is playing Manchester City again next week. So I'm not sure about the price. I was quite short, I thought as well. If I compared it to Atletico Madrid, I fancy them more because they had a little bit more rest. They don't have a big game planned for the midweek. So for me, it's Atletico. I even put it on the big Gun Acca. But yeah, it's a good Spanish double, to be honest. Yeah, but for me,
Yeah,
um,
I think whilst you were talking there, I was having a quick refresh of the stats and stuff. Look, we know that Real Madrid are on my naughty list anyway, so they shouldn't even be talked about. But with Osasuna, we know we've spoken about them several times on this pod before. Decent home team, already beaten Barcelona at home, if you remember, as well. And like you say, sandwiched between two Man City matches, I think it's best to stay away that one.
exactly.
Atletico Madrid's on your big gun acca though, is it? Because that's a nice student acca price of 1.4. That's a decent price at home.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought so. That's why they got onto my big Anaka. It's a big club, playing against a lower ranked team, and they're in quite good form. Atletico. No, they are in good form to be honest.
They
Definitely
are in good
defense.
form.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't get why the price was that high, to be honest. I
Yeah,
saw
I think this.
some
I
other
think this
matches.
is. Yeah, I think this is a misstep by the bookies here. You've got Celta Vigo have only won one away all season. They've lost the majority of their away matches, not been good at all. They've lost every match they've played away from home against a top half team. And Atletico Madrid are unbeaten at home. 1.42, I think it is.
Yeah.
1.42. I think that's a really good price. So I'm going to put that on standby for the student ACCA. You've got it on the big gun ACCA. If we can find other teams that can make up the student ACCA, we'll leave it off so it's not on both. But if we need to, I'm happy to put that on both.
Okay,
Anything
that's it.
else? Anything else that stands out? You know,
No,
there's one game I'm a little bit interested in, and it's Bilbao. Bilbao are 1.73 to win away Espanyol. And they're a team, another team in really good form at the moment. I think they're up there in the form table. They're top of the form table for the last 8 matches, in fact, Bilbao. So I like them just because of the form they're in. But Espanyol, they're not in the worst of forms themselves, especially at home, including beating Real Madrid last time out at home. So it's like I'm tempted on this one, but I think Espanyol have probably proved enough recently to not make this a banker.
exactly, exactly. And it's sometimes it's hard to have it like that. But then again, um, if you're not sure, not make the bet. And if you can beat Real Madrid at home, why not beat Athletic at home? It's not the craziest. Like you had a couple that I'm leaning towards as well. Definitely because if I look at the favorite team, they're quite in good form, they're playing well. But then if you look at the opposition, they cook up some strange results. So for me, if I can pick from all of the matches over the weekend, then for me it's like I'm putting this one definitely on a big, very fun ACCA, with some crazy results with the odd that I like to put a fiver on just for fun because there's gonna be that weekend that every lean is gonna be correct and then we're laughing. But besides that, I'm just putting on some pizza money.
Yeah, piece of money. I think it's just too short. I think just as we say that Atletico Madrid's priced wrong, I think this is priced wrong as well. I think 1.72 is too short on Bilbao, considering what Espanyol have done recently. And if it was closer to even money, 1.9, 1.95, something like that, I think it's worth a value pick and a single pick. But no, too short for me. So as you say, pizza money, Accas maybe, but that's about it.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to Germany. Germany, is there anything that you like the look of?
I think the price on Leverkusen Bayern München is very strange, in my opinion. You see Bayern as quite convincingly favorites, 2.2, and Leverkusen at 3.0. And I just don't like I like Leverkusen here, not to win, but at least to get something out of the match. Very evenly. Bayern still have to worry about the Champions League coming up midweek. They didn't win that convincingly against Celtic, just 2-1. They're already up a lot of points. They are 8 points in front of Leverkusen, so they can deal with a draw. Like a draw would be acceptable. I just think the price is wrong on this one. It's a lean towards Leverkusen or draw for me.
Yeah, there's no value in the Bayern Munich win there, I don't think, and it's an absolute must win for Leverkusen.
Exactly.
So the only way, yeah, I suppose the value here on Munich is if there's 10 minutes left and it's a draw, Leverkusen are going to throw the kitchen sink at Bayern Munich, so it could leave space. But Leverkusen being Leverkusen, they normally find a way when they need to. I actually think that's quite a nice price, 3.0 for the home win.
I don't like those big matches to bet on, but I do like the price, and I do think the price is a little bit wrong on this one, if I look at the bookies.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. It's one that we've spoken about this many times as well. You wouldn't be surprised by any of the three results. So I think sometimes when it's like that, there is value there to be had, but it's very much picking in the dark. So, but yeah, I think Leverkusen at home, they have to win. If they don't win, it's over, right? Would you say?
Exactly.
Yeah. I think
I
so as
don't
well.
like anything else in Germany. Do you have anything that you like in?
In terms of my research, nobody else qualifies in terms of what the process I go through. However, I did feel like there was a couple of good prices, and one being Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund, 1.67 away at Bochum. And Bochum, as we know, well, not very good, are they? They're bottom of the league with 11 points all season. So I just felt like that was a fairly good price on a
Yeah.
team, but they are obviously really struggling at the moment, Dortmund. We know that they're having issues. So they've lost, what, four of their last six? But they should still have enough to beat Bochum, no?
Yeah, definitely. If they won very convincingly midweek away from home and against Sporting 3-0, like maybe they already sacked their manager Nuri Sahin. So there's a new coach now, and he already had a little bit of time
Yeah,
to turn
Kovac,
things
no?
around.
Nico
Kovac,
Kovac.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Kovac, you're right. Club legend, I guess, for Dortmund as well. But yeah, I do fancy them
Gun
to win this match, but then again, is Dortmund the team to be trusted? Like, yeah, we could put it on the student Akka for that price.
I think it's a student Acca game. It's not, well, like I say, it's not one that if it was 1.7, which qualifies for my prices of value pick, I wouldn't be putting this as a value pick because I don't have my full confidence in Dortmund, and they've proven that they can lose silly games. But come on, they really should win this. And as you say, if they're capable of winning away at Sporting 3-0, they should be able to deal with Bochum. And hopefully the new manager's starting to get his ideas across.
Exactly. Okay, let's
Okay,
move
so we'll go
on.
for them. There's one more. There's one more that I like the price of as well. And you know why I like this one? It's Main. Sorry, you told me how to say this properly. Mainz. How did you say it?
Mainz.
Mainz? Mainz. Yeah, like Heinz Beans. I have to remember that. Mainz. They're playing one of our favourite teams that we like to fade, Heidenheim. So this one caught my eye just because of fading Heidenheim, and Mainz are better than even money, 2.05. And again, Mines don't do enough to instill the most confidence in the world, but this was just another one that I looked at and thought, well, it's Heidenheim. Heidenheim lost their last four in a row. They're just in terrible form generally. Six in the last eight they've lost. Their home form is terrible as well. But their Mines have lost their last three away. Although, Leverkusen, Werder Bremen, not the easiest of games, are they? But I think mine should get the job done. I like the price, but I can't say with confidence, no.
To give you a little bit more push for this bet is that they played in Europe, Heidenheim in Copenhagen, and they have to play again in Europe, and it's a close match. They won in Copenhagen 2-1, but they still have to finish the job next week. So they have lots of games as well. So maybe that weighs in the fatigue factor.
Yeah, maybe. Heidenheim actually won the reverse fixture at the home of Mainz as well. I don't know. Heidenheim they're bottom of the form table. They're they're bottom of the home table as well. So no one's got less points at home than Heidenheim. I do like this at even money, but it's a lean.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to Italia. Italia. So, is there anything in Italy? What we got?
I like Fiorentina at home against Como. Fiorentina is back on track a little bit. If you look at the last couple of results, they had a very good start of the season, and then they threw it a little bit away. But they're back to winning ways. They won their match against Lazio. They won against Inter. They lost their last match against Inter as well. If you look at Como, they lost their last three matches, but they were all quite against big teams, Juventus, Bologna, and Atalanta. But I saw the price was even, like even odds, and us playing number six at home, chasing Champions League, maybe Europe places, playing against a team that just got promoted and just outside of the relegation. I thought it was a fair price for this one.
Oh, it's not a fair price. It's a fantastic price. It's an
Okay.
absolutely fantastic price.
Okay,
I
enlighten
this
me.
one, yeah, this one caught my eye as well. Como lost their last three matches. They're not a good team, really, especially away from home. They're okay at home against the teams they should be competing against. So their home form against teams mid-table downwards has been very solid. In fact, they haven't lost a game. Away form tells a different story. They've only won one away all season, which was that ridiculously shock match away at Atalanta. But other than that, it's been poor, 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 and more poor. So Fiorentina, okay, they lost to Inter Milan last week, but they had won the previous three, including Inter Milan as well at home. And yeah, I think this is a home win and nearly even money. Fiorentina won the reverse fixture 2-0. Yeah, I like this for a single value and for the student Acca.
Okay. Okay,
You
let's
like
put it
it for
on.
the student Acca? You agree with me before I put
I
it on? Yeah.
concur. I concur, sir.
Concur, young man. Concur. Okay. Is there anything else? There's one more that I like price wise as well.
Let me guess. Udinese.
Nope.
I have Udinese that I like price-wise. Playing at home against Empoli. It's a lean. Empoli is just, I don't know, not in a great form. And Udinese actually won their last match at home. They drew their last match against Napoli. That's why I like him a little bit. They had a tough loss against Roma before that, so they are quite playing quite well. Empoli lost to AC Milan, Juventus. I'm not sure about this match, but I like the price of Udinese. But enlighten me with yours.
Well, it's a team that you backed. If you remember on the pod last week, there were two games in Italy that you mentioned. I wasn't too sure on either of them, Juventus and Roma. Remember? You liked
Mhm.
both. You thought they were both well priced, and they both won. So well done to you, firstly, for calling those. But I'm going to follow up and double down on one of those picks, and it is Roma, who are a team in good form. And they're playing away at Parma, and you can find this at around the same price as Fiorentina. It's just 1.95. It was even money, so I think it's starting to get back, starting to come down. And yeah, team great form. No, Roma, they're second in the form table, 18 points out the last eight matches, five wins and three draws. And Parma, quite the opposite. They've lost five of the last eight, including the last three in a row. And yeah, really fancy Roma. When you look at Roma's overall away form this season, it's not been good actually. But we know that there's kind of been two halves to Roma's season, right? So you have to look at that a little bit different and look at it more recently. And they're unbeaten in four away, I think it is. They've won their last two away, including that game at Venetia last week. They also got an away draw at the San Siro against AC Milan in decent form against a team that are in the relegation zone. Yeah, even money, I think there's value.
Okay, I definitely like the price, and I like your information, you're backing it. So
Well,
yeah, I like this one.
this kind of brings us to the end of the top European divisions, Rob. So I think are we gonna put that one on the ACCA, or are we gonna put Atletico Madrid? Should we keep it different and leave Atletico Madrid and put Roma at nice odds?
Wow, then we're really going for it, right?
We're
I
going
think
for it.
if you really want to be like,
It's where I tell you what, I've got it here live. I've got six teams there, and it works out at 20-1 exactly.
wow, okay, let's go. Let's
Let's
go.
do it. Let's
Let's
do
do
it.
it.
Let's do it. So, okay, so that finds its way on, which does bring us to the end of the matches to talk about. But this now gets to the fun section, and I do have a top five for you.
Okay.
So, I've got an interesting one for you, Rob, this time. And I I'm going to give a little bit of a clue, okay, before I say what the theme is. But there's a couple of cult heroes here from the 90s in the Premier League. And I'm hoping that you know who they are. I'm pretty sure you would. You're pretty clued up on your football knowledge. But the top five that I'm going for is strikers that are famous for being good headers of the ball, that score
Okay.
a lot of goals with their head.
Wow. And then I have
Okay.
to put him in order who I like the
Yeah,
most. Oh,
yeah, top five. Not you don't have to put them in order of who was better with their head. You put them in order of who you think's, the better player. If you could pick them in their prime in your team today, which order would they go in?
okay. I
Okay.
want to hear about it. Let's
This
see.
is
I'm not
this
sure about my knowledge about English strikers 90s, but
Yeah,
I fancy to.
there's a couple, but I think they're so famous
Yeah, then I must
in
know him. Let's
I
see.
think
Maybe I
they're
missed one,
famous
but
like they're cult heroes rather than the best players ever played the game, but they are definitely famous for their heading ability. So I'm going to start with one of those that I'm not sure. You should know who this is. Les Ferdinand.
okay. He's playing center back, right?
No, 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 no. You know Les Ferdinand, right?
Yeah, I know him. I know him. I know
Yeah.
him. Well, I know him, but I'm not like I didn't. I know who the guy is, and I know he played as a striker. If you have to
Okay, he
put
just
me down on the
it was
team, then
QPR. He was QPR for a lot of his career, and he went to Newcastle for quite a bit at the end as well. Played for Tottenham as well for a little bit.
I'm going for number four. I leave room.
Number four.
I leave room.
Okay, Olivia Bierhoff.
Oh, he's German, right? I know it. I
Yep.
definitely know him. Um, he's German, so I rate him a little bit higher. But then again, if I look at his football qualities, he played for AC Milan as well. I think he scored an important goal in Europe, 1996. Maybe
Yeah, he
did.
scored. He scored. Was it the golden goal? He scored the golden goal in '96. Did he
Okay,
not?
that makes him number three. Like normally I would put him number two, but he's just no, just joking. I put him in three. No, two.
Okay, two.
Yeah, he's moved up. Yeah, he
Okay.
moved up. That goal made him number
Yeah,
two.
no, he was a top. He was a top striker.
Yeah.
Okay, Alan Shearer.
Wow. That's probably gonna be number one, in my
Alan Shearer.
opinion.
What?
Like
Well,
if
he's
you're talking
still
about cult heroes, yeah, unbelievable goal scorer, unbelievable striker, and I like his loyalty for Newcastle. And yeah, number one. If you
more
don't have
more
the best
than.
players in the world, then this could be my number one. So Alan Shearer.
Well, I'm not. No, I'm saying it's a mix. I just said that there was a couple of cult heroes. He isn't one of them. He isn't one of the cult heroes. He's more than a cult hero. He's still the Premier
Exactly.
League's top scorer of all time. The other
Exactly.
cult hero, Les Ferdinand, is what I consider a bit of a cult hero. The other cult hero is Duncan Ferguson.
Yeah, it's exactly in the same lines. Like I think we should change this one around next time because you can talk a little bit more about those players. Like I know a little bit about Birov, I know about Shearer, but I heard of his name, but I'm not sure how to read him compared to like Les Ferdinand. So maybe I'm saying some strange things, but I'm gonna put it on number five, and I'm
Yeah,
hoping we'll have a better
that is
one.
100. That's 100% correct. Yeah, on any list, that is 100% correct. Duncan Ferguson. Yeah, Everton really loyal. Prefers their headbutt players more than the ball. But yeah, he is renowned for using his head and not always on the ball. But anyway, and finally, and now this is why it's gone a bit wrong for you. But the last and definitely not least is Cristiano Ronaldo.
Ah, he's on number six. No, just joking. Yeah, he has to be a number three, but yeah, as a player, definitely must be number one. So yeah, if
But
you
what have
have
you got
Messi
left?
on this
What have you got
list, he
left?
would be number two in my opinion. But besides that, yeah, he should be number one, but he has to go on three this time.
Yeah, well, actually, obviously talking about headed people good in the air. Do you know this that Cristiano Ronaldo has more headed goals than anybody else in football history?
Wow, I didn't know that. Fun fact.
153 headed goals in his career, the most out of anyone in any time. Incredible.
And the most memorable one was the one I think was in the Champions League when he rose against everyone. Like his knees were at the same height as the head of the defender. Like the guy was just climbing up in the air and then a very strong header to finish it off. Like I can still remember that one.
Yeah, unbelievable. And this is why, like, when you have the whole debate between him and Messi, there's two things that I like in. Obviously, they're both amazing players. Let's get that straight. The two things that I like on Ronaldo's side is one is all-round ability, which includes his heading, and I also like the fact that he's played in multiple leagues as well.
Why? Messi is playing in the MLS?
Yeah, and the other farmer, I'm not going to call it League One the Farmers League, as some people like to, but it's not the Premier League, it's not Serie A, and I would have liked to see Messi in one more of the top competitive leagues, but it is what it is.
In a parallel universe, it might happen. But
Yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully, we've
I
got the new
fancy
back.
Messi more than Ronaldo. But maybe that's why it's good that we're having this spot, so we have both sides of the debate.
I think, yeah, to be honest with you, I've flip flopped so many times with that debate. I was always kind of a Cristiano kind of guy. And I think more recently, I've gone back to Messi a little bit. So I can't even give a straight answer on that question, to be honest.
Okay, I will do Messi.
I should do, seeing my wife is from Argentina. I should be more in the Messi.
Exactly, exactly.
I know, I know. Anyway,
Okay.
well, definitely a debate for another day. Oh, it's not a debate for another day. It's going to be a debate for the rest of time, I think, that one. But and
Yeah,
everyone will
definitely.
have their opinion, and hopefully the new batch is coming through. So let's see how that looks in the next few years. Okay, so we spoke about the Accas. Student Acca, we've kind of done through the. I will give that and I will clarify that in a moment. But first, you've mentioned a couple of the teams. But what is your big gun Acca for this week?
Okay. We're back to a nice big Gun Acca, in my opinion. All fivefold, all big name clubs, or more or less, and all playing as big favorites at home. First off, Liverpool, Ajax, Olympique Marseille, Atletico Madrid, and Aston Villa. You can find this fivefold for 3.87.
3.87. The big gun Acca. Okay, let me just confirm that student Acca. I said it was 20 to 1. That's 21.0 for your decimal point people. And we have also Aston Villa, Bournemouth, PSG, Dortmund, Fiorentina, and Roma. So some nice Accas there, Rob.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the student Akka, it's maybe wise to mention you could leave Aston Villa off if you want to. And you can mix and match as well. Like we have a couple of big odds on there as well, with the Roma game and Fiorentina game. So if you're not too sure about one of the two, you can leave one of them off. So that's fine.
Yeah, exactly that. Rob, we've stopped doing the official bet of the weeks because we're not doing official picks on here. As those that listen to us regularly will know that we've started to do our kind of bite-sized pods on the day or on a particular match, depending on the fixture list and what we like the most. So we are going to put some of those out. Before we just give our lean of the week, if you like, are you going to do something for the football tonight? Are you going to put that into a bite-sized version? Have you got any other plays that you're thinking of over the weekend that you can put into?
No, Friday night should be. I definitely put something out. Like it could be either or a short pod or a short message as well, or a longer message analysis about the game. But probably gonna put out the Friday double. And I think the lean of the week in my eyes is Fiorentina. I think
Fiorentina.
maybe I stole it away from you, but
No, no,
try.
no, 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 no. My lean of the week is Brest. Is Brest
Okay,
tonight at
tonight.
2.25.
Wow, got some action ready for tonight. So yeah, have a
Yeah,
quick listen.
so going straight in there Friday night, like it, and good price as well. It's not just about the win. I like Roma a lot as well, and but for me, Brest at home 2.25. It's a really nice play.
It is. It is. Okay.
Okay, okay. I think that brings us to the end of the pod. Rob, where can people find us that are new to listening to us?
Yeah, we keep on getting a little bit more subscribers on all channels. So thanks for that, guys. Yeah, you can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and across all other big platforms for listening to podcasters. And if you want to look a little bit more at social media, we are on X, we are on Instagram, we are on Threads, and we are on Blue Sky. Just type in the words "The Betting Connection" and you will find us. Just look for the blue clover or the white clover with the blue background, and there you'll find us.
Yep. Guys, remember as well, we like your interaction with us. So tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like of the games that we've spoke about. Let us know what your plays are for the weekend. We love to hear from you. We love to hear anything different. We focus a lot on the top leagues. I know some of you guys out there like find more of the random European leagues as well. So let us know if there's any good value there or good plays. We love to hear it. Please interact with us. Whatever you decide to do this weekend, whoever you decide to bet on, have an amazing weekend and ciao for now.
Happy betting!